Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Is the next search on February 28, 2020? 7:44 p.m. How does the FBI find people? The people's misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E. Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
What more do you need to see?
Alrighty. We're back again with a bonus stream. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I'm the recovery addict. We have breaking news tonight. Thanks to Jules. I appreciate the heads up on this one. We have some breaking news with the final judgment in the Maya trial. Whoop whoop! It's happening, says Nom. Whoop whoop! I can't do that very well. You guys are gonna have to whoop for me. I'm not much of a whooper. I can do the hump day yell, but that's about it. Short stream. I know I've got to update I didn't even update the thumbnail. I got the thumbnail wrong. I'm going to fix that. We'll get that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll find it. We'll get a better thumbnail here. Anyway, I'll get that fixed. We'll get that updated. All right, we have some breaking news right now because the courts in Sarasota, the judge Carroll has issued another. We were just talking about this. We just talked with Jules just a minute ago. As a matter of fact, we were talking about this, saying, "Hey, that this is what's left. This is all that's left is this judgment." So we're going to bring this up on the screen so you guys can see it. Let's see. That needs a screenshot right there. Boom. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Right here. Right. Oh, that's not it. Let's go to 7. That's a little bit better. All right. We have out of the 12th District, 12th Judicial Circuit Court in Sarasota County, a final judgment filed. This is it, guys. And I wish my son, who's got this interest clock, is gone. I don't know how to do this. But the interest should start accruing right now. But we're going to go over this very quickly just to see what the final judgment was in this case. The matter heard was. This matter was heard on plaintiff's 8th amended complaint between September 14th and November 9th. Between the jury's rendition of all verdicts and entry of this final judgment, Maya Kowalski obtained 18 years of age. She did have her birthday after that. The court restyled the case. That means they redid the headlines so that it didn't say MK instead of Maya Kowalski. Damages awarded to Jack Kowalski as parent and next friend of Maya Kowalski on the verdict forms have been awarded to Maya Kowalski in this judgment. Meaning because she's 18, they've made some updates to show it goes straight to her. J. Hatch sought the new trial based on alleged juror misconduct. There was no juror misconduct, and the court rejected J. Hatch's claims. J. Hatch also filed an omnibus post-verdict motion seeking judgment notwithstanding the verdict, a new trial, and a remittitor. The court mostly denied the motion, but granted remittitor as to a few claims. The plaintiffs accepted the remittitor and elected not to have a new trial as to those few claims. That's the document that was just filed earlier this afternoon. So, based on the jury verdicts as remitted, number 1, as to claim 1A, false imprisonment, Maya Kowalski, count 2 of operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya $2.496 million in economic damages subsequent to her obtaining the age of 18. The jury awarded her $3 million in non-economic damages. The jury also awarded Jack Kowalski individually $67,200 in economic damages associated with the expense of hospitalization and medical, psychological, and nursing care and treatment for the benefit of Maya Kowalski in the past and through the date she reached the age of 18. Also, as to Claim 1A, the jury found by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages were warranted for this false imprisonment. During Phase 2, the jury found by clear and convincing evidence that Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital had the specific intent to harm Maya Kowalski. Welcome, Juror 1. Good to have you here. This is a big day. Thank you for being here, my friend. a specific intent. The jury found that they had a specific intent to harm Maya Kowalski, and in fact, harmed Maya Kowalski. The jury elected to assess $15 million in punitive damages against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in favor of Maya Kowalski based on the conduct in Claim 1A. As to Claim 1B, false imprisonment, Maya Kowalski, count 2 of the operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $1.4 million in economic damages subsequent to her obtaining the age of 18. The jury awarded her $3 million in non-economic damages. The jury also awarded Jack Kowalski individually $561,298 in economic damages associated with the expense of hospitalization, medical, psychological, and nursing care and treatment for the benefit of Maya in the past and through the date she reached 18. That's why those numbers are lower. It's basically past fees and up to when she turns 18, which was not very much, not very long time. Also, as to Claim 1B, the jury found by clear and convincing evidence that the punitive damages were warranted for this false imprisonment. During Phase 2, the jury found the clear and convincing evidence that Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital had the specific intent to harm Maya Kowalski, and in fact, harmed Maya Kowalski. Hello, Dr. Joe, Hippo lover. It's great to... Dr. Joe, I owe you a phone call. You asked me a question. I owe you a phone call. Don't let me forget. I've got that answer for you. Good to have you here. This is a big day. Let's see. The jury awarded... Let's see. Where were we at? They harmed Maya Kowalski. The jury elected to assess $10 million in punitive damages against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in favor of Maya Kowalski based on the conduct in Claim 1B. As to Claim 1C, false imprisonment, Maya Kowalski, count 2 of the operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $188,000 in economic damages. Subsequent to her obtaining the age of 18, the jury awarded her $15 million in non-economic damages. The jury also awarded Jack Kowalski individually $325,000 in economic damages associated with the expense of hospitalization and medical, psychological, and nursing care and treatment for the benefit of Maya in the past and through the date she reached 18, which was in December, I believe. I think her birthday was in December, early December. Also, as to Claim 1C, the jury found by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages were warranted for this false imprisonment. During Phase 2, the court consolidated on the verdict form the punitive damages matters for Claim 1C and 2A as it involved the same photo session. The court will address the jury's finding and assessment in Claim 2A. As to Claim 2A, battery, on January 6, 2017, count 5 of the operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $4 million in economic damages subsequent to her obtaining the age of 18. The jury awarded her $8 million in non-economic damages. The jury also awarded Jack Kowalski individually $559,000 in economic damages associated with the expense of the hospitalization, medical, psychological, and nursing care and treatment for the benefit of Maya in the past and through the date she reached 18. Also, as to Claim 2A, the jury found by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages were warranted for this battery. During Phase 2, the court consolidated Claim 1B and 2A as both claims related to the same photo session, or related to the photo session. The jury found by clear and convincing evidence that Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital had the specific intent to harm Maya Kowalski, and in fact harmed Maya Kowalski. The jury elected to assess $25 million in punitive damages against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in favor of Maya Kowalski based on the conduct in Claim 1B and 2A. As to Claim 2B, battery, hugs, pats, kisses, and placing on lap, count 5 of the operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $8 million in economic damages subsequent to her obtaining the age of 18. The jury awarded her $11 million in non-economic damages, and the jury also awarded Jack Kowalski individually $1,000 in economic damages associated with the expense of hospitalization, medical, psychological, nursing care, and treatment for the benefit of Maya Kowalski in the past and through the date that she reached the age of 18. As to Claim 3, medical negligence, count 8 of the complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $4.7 million in economic damages. The jury awarded her $22 million in non-economic damages. The jury also found as fact that Dr. Sally Smith was the apparent agent. The jury also found as fact that Dr. Sally Smith was the apparent agent of defendant Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, and that Dr. Sally Smith's negligence was a legal cause of loss, injury, or damage to Maya Kowalski. As to Claim 4, fraudulent billing, Jack Kowalski, Count 18. The jury awarded Jack Kowalski individually $5 million in economic damages. As to claim 5, survivor claim for the intentional infliction of emotional distress, estate of Beata Kowalski. Count 21A of the operative complaint. The jury awarded Jack Kowalski as personal representative of the estate of Beata Kowalski $3 million in non-economic damages associated with Beata Kowalski's pain and suffering or mental anguish prior to her death. The personal representatives elected to accept the wrongful death award in Claim 6 in lieu of the survivor award in Claim 5. So they one or the other, and they chose the other one. As to Claim 6, the wrongful death for intentional infliction of emotional distress causing death, estate of Beata Kowalski, Count 21B of the operative complaint, the jury awarded the estate $653,676 for the loss of net accumulations. That's lost wages and things like that. Thank you. Thank you, Hippo Lover. Good to have you in chat as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. The jury awarded Jack Kowalski, the surviving spouse, $18 million for loss of support and services remitted by the court to $2 million. So the jury awarded $18 million. They took $16 million off of that and took it down to $2 million. And $50 million in the loss of the wife's companionship and protection for his pain and suffering, remitted by the court to $24 million. So they took $26 million off that. The jury awarded Maya Kowalski survivor damages of $2 million for the loss of support and services, remitted by the court to $1.75 million, and $18 million for the loss of parental companionship, instruction and guidance, and pain and suffering. The jury awarded Kyle Kowalski survivor damages of $2 million for the loss of support and services, remitted by the court to $1.75 million. So both of those went down by $250,000, and $18 million for the loss of parental companionship, instruction, guidance, and pain and suffering. As to Claim 7, the intentional infliction of emotional distress, Maya Kowalski, Count 21C of the operative complaint, the jury awarded Maya Kowalski $3 million in economic damages. The jury awarded her $7.5 million in non-economic damages. It is adjudged, this is the big part, it is adjudged plaintiff Maya Kowalski individually shall recover from the defendant, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, Inc., a Florida not-for-profit corporation whose address is XYZ in Florida, a compensatory damages in the amount of $93,284,000 less $2.5 million for set-off as stipulated by the parties due to a prior settlement. That was the Sally Smith Sunrise settlement. Punitive damages in the amount of $50 million, making a total judgment amount $140,784,000. There it is in bold. The judge typed it in bold right here. This is the amount to Maya Kowalski, which shall bear interest at the rate of 9.09% per year, calculated using a daily decimal of 0.000248361 for the balance of 2024, and thereafter adjusted annually on January 1st with the interest rate then in effect as determined by the Chief Financial Officer of the State of Florida pursuant to Section 55.03, Section 3, Florida statutes, for which sum let execution issue. Plaintiff Jack Kowalski individually shall recover from defendant Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, a Florida not-for-profit corporation, compensatory damages in the amount of $1,513,500, making a total judgment of $1,513,500, which shall bear interest at the rate of 9.09% per year, calculated using the daily decimal, the same decimal, for the balance of 2024, and then thereafter adjusted annually. Plaintiff Jack Kowalski, as the personal representative of the estate of Beata Kowalski, shall recover from the defendant, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, a not-for-profit corporation located in Florida, damages to the estate of Beata Kowalski in the amount of $653,676, damages to the surviving spouse Jack Kowalski in the amount of $26 million, damages to the survivor Maya Kowalski in the amount of $19,750,000, and damages to the survivor Kyle Kowalski in the amount of $19,750,000, making a total judgment of $66,153,676, which shall bear interest at the rate of 9.09% per year, calculated using the daily decimal for the balance of 2024 and thereafter annually adjusted on January 1st. Within 45 days, defendant Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital Incorporated shall complete and execute under oath or affirmative Florida civil rule of procedure fact information sheet for corporations and other business entities and return it to the plaintiff's attorney without filing the form with the clerk of court unless the judgment is satisfied. The court stays post-judgment discovery or judgment debtor posts a qualifying supersedious bond. I'm not sure what that word means right here. I need a definition. Thank you, Amy. Amy, this is a big day. Thanks for the fireworks. We are so excited for this. This has been a long time coming. The court reserves jurisdiction to enter further orders that are proper to address execution, post-judgment discovery, competition in the fact information sheet, and requiring judgment debtor to submit depositions in aid of execution. The court reserves jurisdiction to award attorney's fees or costs, or both, if any, upon a timely and successful motion. And the court also reserves jurisdiction, as discussed in the court's January 16th order, entitled Order Concerning Outstanding Sanction Request, to consider, address, and resolve all currently pending unresolved motions seeking any type of sanction against any party or attorney or both, including any matter in which the court previously awarded an entitlement to sanctions but has not yet finalized the sanction award, all of which survives this judgment. The sanctions are still out there. This does not mean the sanctions won't happen. The court also reserves jurisdiction to address all matters associated with the court's January 16th order, entitled Order Directing Mandatory In-Person Mediation, which is still going to happen as well, which survives this final judgment. Done and ordered in Sarasota County, Florida on January 19th, and it's signed by Hunter W. Carroll, Circuit Judge. All I can say is this is a big day. This is a huge day for the Kowalskis because the interest starts now. The delays, the fight, the long, drawn-out battle that they have faced, that has just been has been their life for these last years as they have fought for justice in this. It's not over. They're not made whole. Obviously, they haven't been awarded this amount and now have the funds to pay the debts and the things that they're going to have to pay. Those are still out there. But now the interest begins at 9.09% calculated daily. I believe that means daily compounded, but it's a yearly interest split up by the day. I have to. Smarter people than me will have to look at that and see what's happening. But the clock is starting. I don't have the interest clock. My son, who has the server that runs it, is not here. So we'll need to get him to pull it up for me. Indy Cindy, thank you very much for the super chat. We're going to do a little math right here because these bold amounts, we want to just make sure what the total is. Okay. Let's sort this up. Hey Siri, add $140,784,000 and $1,513,500 and $66,153,676.
I'm afraid I couldn't find anything about that.
Siri, you have one job. Hey Siri. What is $140,784,000 plus $1,513,500 plus $66,153,676?
Dollars.
Sorry, starting again. $140,784,000 plus $1,513,500 plus $66,153,676 is $208,451,176.
The calculator says $208,451,176, says Angela. It was a little easier that way. I was hoping Siri could really come in as a pinch hitter and just knock it out of the park, but she struggles with higher math, apparently. And let's see, Dr. Joe sent me an image of his calculator. This is the best. The interest. Let's see, the interest per day. This is from Dr. Joe. I'm looking at here, $51,771. So you can do the math here, and this is actually a fun little exercise. Let me see if I can pull this up on my screen. Let's pull up a calculator on screen. Let's bring this right over here, because can I not take my calculator off my main screen? That's weird. Okay, 5,1,771.1425. This is in 24 hours. So we could divide that by 24 to say how many hours are in a day. And you get each hour, that's $2,157.13. We divide that by 60. And per minute, they add $35.94 to it. You divide that by 60 one more time, and you're going to get 60 cents per second is how fast it's going up. 60 cents per second. It's the clock is going. Imagine pulling up to the gas pump, okay, and pulling the pump out and sticking it in your car and squeezing the handle, and the numbers start going. But it's not pumping gas. It's pumping interest into a debt. Okay, it's just adding on. The clock is not stopping. It's not going to run out of gas. It's just going to keep going until you pay the bill. And this, Kimmy, this is great news for the Kowalski family. It is such great news. This has been such a long time coming. I'm just checking here 1 second. Let's see. We might see what we can do here. It's about time, says Karen. Wonderful. I'm so happy for them. Finally, justice for Maya. Like the judge, he was fair. He did a very thorough job. Let's see. Amy, simple interest accountant auditor here. You've got $51,912 per day. We're both in the upwards of $51 million, close to $52,000 per day that the hospital's accruing. So if you multiply out the other way, 51.9, if that's what we want to go with, 51.9 times, say, I don't know, 365. If they choose to draw this out for a couple years, for each year they draw it out, they're going to owe an extra $19 million. Let me see if I can... See, I'm trying to see if Dr. Joe's available. He's in chat here, so I wanted to see if he wanted to weigh in on this and just get his idea on all this. Oh, he's calling me, I think. There we go. Okay, let's plug this in.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Dr. Joe. I figured out
if this is the only way that I can get you to answer my questions, I'm good with this.
Okay, let me answer your question first.
No, it's okay. Wait.
Wow, it happened today. I was just talking to Jules before our last live stream ended. We were saying that the document had been filed, that the family had accepted the remitter, and I said to her, that all that's left is for the judge to file the judgment, which should happen soon. And we were joking. We said, well, maybe next week. And I said, I don't know. It depends. He might be working late tonight. And apparently he was, because the judgment is in. What's your thoughts as this has finally reached the stage, which seemed like we'd never get here?
I will preface it by saying that it ain't over. But this is a great day for the Kowalski family. Because let's face it. I mean, I don't care if you're Elon Musk, $51,000 a day in interest changes your calculations. And so, granted, this will still be, months, a year or two away from final settlement, but still, it changes the math on the silliness of accusing juror one's wife of malfeasance, of alleging that juror one, didn't uphold his own integrity, let alone the habits he developed as a career law enforcement officer. It should penalize silliness.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good day for the Kowalskis to exhale.
Yeah.
And at least be ready for the next fight.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It looks like the next fight, according to the judge, is going to be in mediation, which for those of us that have been watching the case, this might be sort of our last peek behind the curtain. Oftentimes in mediation, there may be an agreement that's reached and it's secret. And so the final numbers, whatever they are, they might be exactly what we just added up on the calculator. That might be what they mediate to and just agree to. It might be somewhere in between. It might be far less. We really don't know. But really, the sides are going to come together and weighing everything. I mean, the Kowalskis have to weigh the fact that, how long do we want to drag this out? Are we willing to say, let's, we fought a fight, the amount is right. We feel like we've got justice. We've brought to light the issues that we feel needed to be brought to light and made public. This will give us the ability to move forward with our lives with what we need to, as well as start the fund the causes that we'd like to move forward with and continue with. And they might say, a significant chunk off this settlement is enough, and we can do that. And that we'll probably never see that, honestly. There will be a few people who see that document and know what that is, and it'll be secret, as they usually are. Sometimes they get leaked, but it's most likely going to stay secret.
I agree with you, but most importantly, this is another day where I think Maya Kowalski will go to bed tonight feeling heard. Right? This is the judge kind of licking the envelope and sealing it. Right? And I think that was probably the most impactful comment that I heard when the verdicts were originally read, was that she felt heard. And listen, I think she really fought this one for her mom as much as she did for anybody else. And I think that, she and Kyle and Jack will share some tears tonight thinking about what they've lost, but will go to bed with a full heart, knowing that they fought for their mom and they were heard. So I think it's a good day for the Kowalski family.
It's amazing. It's probably a bad day for Jay Hatch. Nobody's going to be celebrating this weekend in the Jay Hatch war room.
I have a feeling that the lights will be on in the offices of Hill Ward Henderson over the weekend as well.
Yeah. What's the next we see from them as far as filings? We still have, I think the judge has asked for a list from both sides of all their accusations of, what they want sanctions for. There are things on both sides where they say you did this wrong and you did this wrong, and there's going to be a big battle fought over that. That's not going to mess with this. It's the judgment's separate. Right. And then here's this other stuff down here.
Yeah. The sanctions are still outstanding. And, I will tell you that among my audience of advocates, there is a lot of, a lot of thirst to see, sanctions actually issued, and meaningful sanctions. I'm assuming that your audience feels the same, since many of your folks have come over to join us too. But the appeal is the big thing, and the appeal will be managed by other attorneys. It'll be interesting to see what role Hunter Shapiro et al. Provide for the hospital going forward. But, they did bring in the appellate lawyer from Baltimore, Mr. Steichleather, and one of his associates. And then, it's very likely that they'll engage outside counsel from, a big appeals firm in one of the bigger East Coast cities, whether it's Atlanta or DC or New York or Boston, but we will undoubtedly see some outsiders come down for that phase. The interesting thing that gives me hope, Greg does not share my optimism, but what gives me hope is that the mediation is so scripted on the level of executive decision making and accountability that needs to be in the room, not just from Jay Hatch, not just from but from the insurance companies, and so all the decision makers have to be there. And I thought it was interesting that he can't compel, but invited the Johns Hopkins system representatives to be there as well. So I really think that it's Judge Carroll's hope that they can get this figured out before the 15th of April.
That would be amazing. I think he set some dates in there as well, and like you, I was drawn to the fact that he was so specific about who had to be there. This is not just, we need somebody who can take notes and take it back to the insurance companies, and everyone can confer and then come back with your answers. He wants all the players. We want the person who can sign the check in that room. That doesn't have to call a boss and say, hey, what do you guys think? Is this something we can live with? It's going to be all right there. So what be a fly on the wall in that room?
Yeah, right.
That would be,
and it's interesting. And it's interesting. I've been swapping messages with Jack since this final judgment got posted this evening, and he has never been. For him, it's never been about the money. However, I think that there's what's motivating Jack to Jack and Maya and Kyle to settle it now, to accept less. So I think that it'll be a very interesting process. I suggested to Jack that he could enjoy a bottle of the good stuff tonight. But,
no more of that cheap. No more of that cheap stuff.
He said he was not planning on having a drink, but he may have to change that plan. So wow. Yeah, I think we're all feeling almost like it's somebody's birthday, right? It's a good day.
Yeah, it's not over, but it's definitely a big benchmark that we've reached, and just beautiful. I say we because I feel like this has been my life for a while, following this.
I know, right?
We've been so involved, and we're on the outside. I mean, I can't begin to imagine how the family might feel tonight as they see this. I mean, they obviously knew it was coming, but seeing this in black and white there with the judge's signature and so ordered with the stamp of the court, that's a huge day, and just super excited.
And they're such lovely people. They are, you've met them, and to meet them is to love them. They have been through unimaginable emotion, unimaginable grief. But they have conducted themselves with such dignity and such clarity of purpose. And I think I was telling you, I know that I told Jules that when I was in the gallery and Maya testified, she demonstrated such strength and such tenacity and such poise. And I had the opportunity to talk with first Jack and then Maya later as we were exiting the court that day, and I said, I feel like I got a glimpse of Beata because I have a feeling that Beata shared those same characteristics, and Maya just had them on full display. And for at that time a 17-year-old young lady to pull that off on
so far beyond her years,
that kind of a platform, oh my God,
under the pressure, under the scrutiny, unbelievable, just unbelievable.
And what a testimony to the job that Jack has done as a single parent for the last 7 years, right? Trust me, I have a 20-year-old daughter. Those are not easy years to navigate.
Yeah.
But he's done a phenomenal job raising two wonderful kids.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard enough to be a parent on your own, but to be a parent, single parent, raising teenagers well well, you're taking on a Goliath in court.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It was a full-time job just to stay focused on what was happening in court. And I mean, I imagine the weight that's being lifted off his shoulders by degrees as we get closer and closer to the end of this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Greg and for Nick and for the whole team Maya in Jacksonville. It's definitely a sentinel day because the math is different from here on in.
Yeah.
The hospital and Hillward Henderson, they were playing with unlimited treasure chest against an underfunded plaintiff's team, and that math is different today.
Yeah, it's not in their favor anymore. That's for sure. Up until this point, it was in their interest to draw this out for as long as possible. And I imagine there may be an argument to continue to do that to some degree, to try to force a more favorable mediation amount. But really, the longer they wait, there comes a point when you look at the cost benefit ratio and it just doesn't add up anymore. And hopefully we don't get all the way to that point before they finally comply. But
$1.5 million a month.
It's a lot of reasons. That's a lot of reasons to get to work and scratch the pencil out and put your name on the checkbook.
I mean, maybe Bezos and Musk don't feel that, but holy cow. Yeah. I think everybody in the audience would take a deep, deep breath.
They're very big numbers, and this obviously this judgment is in a big part. It's not just to punish Jay Hatch. That's a big part of it, but this is supposed to stand as a message to others, right? This is supposed to be a warning to anyone else who might be in the same position to do the same thing. Say, whoa, let's rethink our policies. Let's rethink what we're pushing. Let's rethink our procedures and make sure we don't fall as the next person in line for this same sort of judgment. That's how you affect change. I mean, that's one of the ways to do it.
Yeah. So. Well, I hope it's a wake-up call for other hospitals and other systems. But one of the other things that I think is remarkable about not only today's judgment, but the orders that were issued the other day is in it. Judge Carroll does such a fantastic job of acknowledging and endorsing the work that the jury performed. I mean, they sat through a very complicated, very convoluted trial with a lot of evidence. They asked phenomenal questions, and I thought it was great that Judge Carroll specifically called out in his orders that it wasn't just juror one that was asking questions. I mean, they all were fully engaged the entire time. And but I love that Judge Carroll embraced, endorsed, and really congratulated and thanked the jury for doing its job.
Yeah, that was neat. I appreciate the judge doing that, being mindful of the jury. And we generally do see the judge as the person who does that, who understands the cost of the time cost for him. Yeah, this is his job. This is what he wants to do for his whole life. He's worked up to this position. The jurors are not so. They got yanked out of whatever they were doing, whether it was just spending time at home with the kids or going to work every day, and suddenly they're called to perform a civic duty that can be incredibly taxing and very difficult. And I appreciated his kind words as well. It was nice to see Juror One and Hippo Lover in chat here with you as well. Yeah, great individuals, and we've enjoyed hearing from them. It's
they amazing. Definitely earned their $15 a day.
Yeah, really. It's a token payment that doesn't generally cover gas or parking, but definitely not lunch. Right. But really appreciate it. I think for me, my biggest takeaway is I think the way juror number one, Paul, the way he handled himself and in that interview and after, was reassuring to people who might serve on a jury. That he can go in and hold his head high, and that this isn't, he's not scared to talk to the judge, and that he did what he said he would do. And that if you do that, the same thing, if you follow the judge's orders, do what you said to do, follow the instructions, you too can not have anything to worry about. Even though the big, bad, scary hospital wants to throw stuff at the fan, it gets ugly for a while. It was,
Yeah.
I think what he did was very reassuring for those potential jurors who might have a letter in the mail saying you're called to jury service, report to the courthouse.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. All right, Dr. Joe.
Well, now that the judgment is out, I'm looking forward to sitting down with Paul and Yolanda next week, ideally, and I'm hoping to sit down with Jack and Maya and Kyle soon as well. This was kind of a pivotal moment, getting this judgment in place. Again, lots of fight ahead, but looking forward to connecting with everybody over the next several days.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all those interviews. They're going to be absolutely fantastic. We've posted your link in chat. We'll post it again for your channel. We love what you're doing over there. We love what the group of advocates that you're forming and training and teaching and just discussing as how to move forward and how to best help advocate for yourself and for others. It's a great thing that you're doing. I appreciate you doing that.
I wouldn't be here without you, Scott. I appreciate everything you've done to help me.
You're welcome. I'm going to give you a call as soon as we're done, because if you ask me a tech question, and I've got your answers for you, but I'll take it off the air.
No rush, buddy. No rush at all.
But Dr. Joe,
all right.
Thank you
Thanks
once again.
Thank you very much, Scott, and thanks to all the recovery addicts.
Yep.
You guys are amazing.
All right. Appreciate you. We'll catch you again. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care. Mm-hmm. Bye.
Appreciate Dr. Joe calling in a moment's notice to respond there. Thank you, juror number one. Appreciate the kind words. Honestly, I appreciate you. I'm a huge fan of the judicial system.
Call from Jules.
Oh, we've got Jules on the phone. Just one second. Jules, third time in a day. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. I cannot speak as eloquently as Dr. Joe, so I feel kind of dumb following him.
No.
In any case, I can't be happier. I just want to echo everything that Dr. Joe said. I want to thank you, Scott, Rob from Long Lumber, for giving me a voice for 9 weeks. That wouldn't have been possible had both of you had not been so gracious and allow me to do my reporting and not just limit it to TikTok.
Yeah.
I also want to give a big thanks to not just juror number one, but all 12 jurors for listening attentively, and then the 6 that were brave enough to come back with the verdict that they did. And to Dr. Joe, because in my opinion, he sealed the deal in this case.
He was.
At
He
the
was
very
key.
end.
He was very key.
Very key. So for a man that is not an expert witness and to take his first bleep in such a high-profile case, my hat is off to Dr. Joe. And to Maya, Kyle, and Jack for their courageous fight over all these years. And they stood strong and they didn't give up. And I couldn't be prouder of them. And most of all, Greg, his firm, everybody in that legal team.
That is a dream team. They worked so well together. They worked under incredible circumstances, against incredible odds. Just amazing individuals, all of them.
Yeah. And I'm so happy because I'm hoping now, like you said, Scott, this is going to give an incentive with the mediation, and maybe by April, this can be put away. I think this family has been through enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot they've been through. There's a lot still they have to go through, but I think the path forward is pretty much known, even though it's not quick. At this
No,
point, you know, what can they do? They can appeal, right? They can put this to the appellate court. I think what Judge Carroll has done has been phenomenal in making this appeal proof. And I think with his reversal rate, he gets less than what? It was like 7% of his cases get reversed, his decisions get reversed, some number like that.
Correct.
It's remarkably low for a judge. You know, that's so I think he's really doing a good job. You mentioned that we gave you a voice. Jewel, you were our eyes in court, and we appreciate you doing that and helping us see the things that we couldn't see, that we wish we could have had we been there. Appreciate you going to court, not just you, but you know, everybody who went and visited and would come and check in. And say, you know, their experience that brings it alive for us, and that just it makes it's very different than just sitting and watching it on a flat screen. So thank you so much for what you do.
Well, you're very welcome, but again, thank you, because you did give me a voice to let you know what was happening inside, and to see the things that I saw that, again, like you said, you weren't able to see. And I got to meet so many wonderful people throughout the process. You know, it was an experience out of all the trials that I've ever attended in person. Just like I told you, was my first civil trial, and this is the first time I have ever become invested.
Yeah.
So my hat is off to everyone involved, and to all the wonderful people, the addicts that I met. I'm sorry, I can't remember everyone's names, but there were so many of you that showed up in court. So shout out to all of Scott's supporters. Yay.
Will do. Jules, I've got Hippo Lover on the phone. Can I let you go?
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Love.
I will.
Yoli, thank you.
Just one second.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Call from Hippo Lover and juror number 1.
Hello, Hippo Lover and juror number 1. It's wonderful to finally talk to you. How are you doing?
Oh, this is not Joe's Pizza. I want a large calzone.
Okay.
No.
I can take your order. No. It's going to be a while before
Paul
I can make it.
And Yoli.
Hi, Scott.
Paul, and is it you go by Yoli?
Yeah.
Yoli.
Or yeah, for Yolanda, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yoli.
Jolie for sure. Oh, Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo. That's easier for me to remember. Paul and Yo-Yo. Oh, my goodness. Let me just ask really quickly. What is today like for you at this moment when you see the judgment finally be entered? What are you guys feeling? What are you guys thinking?
It's like it's like a New Year's Eve. It's like you know, it's like getting married, or you know, so it's just like I didn't know it would come, or I don't think anyone felt it would come this quick. But it's kind of like it's not over yet, but it's technically it's like over.
Yep.
I mean, the judges hit the gavel, and all the rulings are in, and now J. Hatch is in the doghouse, and they have to try to do more shenanigans. But it's finally kind of like it's happened.
Yeah.
So it's ecstatic.
Very, very, very happy. That's for sure.
That is wonderful. We obviously we didn't watch you until the end. You know, at the end, Paul's when we knew about you. Jules was our eyes. She was watching you closely and didn't know it was you. She had a different number for you, I think, that you actually had. But it was hearing the questions that were coming out in court, and just the sense that we got as, oh my goodness, this juror gets it. This not just juror, but this jury gets it. This jury is invested. This jury is understanding. This jury is asking the questions that the lawyers weren't asking. It was incredible to watch the trial from an outside perspective like that, and be able to see and hear through your questions what you guys were thinking, and it was amazing. All I can say is thank you. Thanks for being willing to serve and being willing to say, yeah, I'll sit there for 9 weeks or however long it takes to do my civic duty. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. But yeah, it was. I guess all the stars came into alignment for this act when the trial actually happened, and you know, it worked out great. And for your viewers, if you haven't seen all my questions, because only half of them were asked, because I always set up, I don't know, predicate or a foundation and stuff, or whatever you lawyer people call it, before I'd ask the actual question. And usually a lot of that got like not asked. But yeah, I asked, that's how I am. I'm a little brash. And, even when I'm friends, I'll run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it. And sometimes it doesn't even make it up the flagpole.
Well, we did something a little different here when we were following. We have the Zoom channel, which the court Zoom, we could hear the discussions that were happening at the sidebar when the judge was talking with the lawyers. Now, under court order, I couldn't show that video and I couldn't play the video, but instead I'd hold it to my ear so I could listen, and I have the ability to repeat verbatim what I hear. So I could just regurgitate what was going in my ear. It would come out my mouth. And so we got to hear on our channel how you wrote the questions initially.
Okay.
So we got to see, and then we'd see it get pared down. They'd strike parts off, and they're like, "Well, we think that's a little inflammatory. That's that might be a little much. We're just gonna use this part." And so it was really neat to see to be involved in that process. We are as a community, we're huge fans of courts that allow juries to ask questions. I don't know how you could have a trial like this and not ask questions. How could you sit through for 9 weeks and just be gagged, really? I'm
glad they allowed us to, because we were able to comprehend more. That if we just listened to what the witnesses said, it kind of might not make too much sense. But here we'd ask, and usually we'd get an explanation.
Yeah, that was neat. I'm excited. I know. I think you get to sit down with Dr. Joe here soon. He was on the call and said he's hopefully going to be able to meet with you guys and talk and have a little discussion, maybe on his channel, which will be amazing. I can't wait to watch that. Let me ask you this: what's next for you guys? I mean, once this is all now it's sort of like died down. Is there a vacation in the books? Are you guys looking to just go somewhere quiet for a little while? What's next for you?
We usually travel a lot, so I'm sure we'll go somewhere here shortly, and we go out to eat a lot. So, I mean, our lives really haven't changed that much. We had already gone to Tennessee in November when all this happened, and we went to St. Augustine in December. So we love to travel and just get out anyway.
We'll just fade into the woodwork again, and
you can't do that.
Listen to what you guys have to say.
You're famous now. So many people, I think, related to you because you just called it, like you see, you were a straight shooter. You asked the questions. It wasn't in lawyer speak, but at the same time, it was just an honest and deep question where you've got fans now. You've got fans of you, and honestly, you've got an opportunity for a voice. So I'd love to see if there's something you're interested in that you take and maybe share with the larger community that's now aware of you.
I think if Dr. Joe gets this advocate group going, we would love to be a part of it, or whatever Jack and Maya, if they get a foundation, we would love to be a part of it. I mean, that there's a voice there, and we certainly would love to help.
That'll be neat. I am as well. I'm a huge fan of Dr. Joe. As you know, I got to meet him, and just what a nice guy. What an incredible guy. What a smart guy. Oh my goodness. The guy has a brain that I wish I had just a fraction of. But I can't wait to see what he does with that community of advocates as well.
Yes, he is fantastic, and we can't wait to get together and see what happens in the future.
Yeah, well, make sure you get together at the restaurant. It's yummy. It's so good. I've been there once. I'll have to go again.
Yeah, we had gone to the restaurant before the trial was over and loved it. It's a great place.
Is it all right if I bring my wife on for a minit? She's listening in here. Hang on one second.
Hey guys.
Absolutely.
I have been watching this.
Hi,
how are you?
Good.
Hey, I've been watching this from afar, just with bated breath and clenched teeth, and I don't want to steal a march on your conversation with Dr. Joe, but how was the experience for you once it stopped being about Maya and it started being about you? What kind of an emotional experience was that? Were you just like, whatever, we'll we'll see in court, or was it scary?
Oh, for me, it really wasn't scary because, I know we didn't do anything improper.
Right.
I followed the rules, but when you have such a big money law firm attacking you, and here I am just, little old me, a regular person, you kind of wonder, well, geez, are they going to pay somebody off or something?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They had no, I think show just cause. If someone, I think the judge would have asked them, they wouldn't have any. So they were just stirring up the waters to make it as muddy as possible. But as you see, it didn't go anywhere because there is nothing to it. So Yoli will confirm, I don't get too frazzled like that.
That's
or worried.
Cool. That's what about you,
What
Yo-Yo? Were you?
Oh,
I feel so weird calling you that.
Yeah. It's a big difference between him and I, which is why our marriage works.
Right.
But he could care less. I'm more like, oh my gosh, they're digging our past. And his ex and I happen to be really good friends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and they're throwing her in it and my kids in it. And my entire life, I was just pretty upset.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't worry about it too much. I'm like, how can I not worry about it? Which is crazy. So, yeah, two very different perspectives. He's like, it'll be fine. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think that's how we go.
Oh, yeah, I think if looking back, I think Paul was right. I think it ended up being a lot less. But at the same time, there was a time when you were the topic of all the Reddit threads, or at least all the ones talking about Maya, and people were digging into your past in ways that I would say arguably they shouldn't have been.
No argument. Right. That was crap. They should not have done that.
I'm saying, like, from a legal standpoint, I think the documents they were accessing, I think that's questionable.
And it was right on Thanksgiving. We were not in town, and here we are watching you guys on Thanksgiving Eve, listening to all this and just going, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Relax. Have a turkey.
That's amazing.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys made it through to the other side, just calm and in control. There were so many days that I thought, I cannot believe this is happening to them, and wanting to be as helpful as possible, and knowing that probably the biggest thing we can do is just zip it. Don't talk to you, don't have any contact. And I think that's so terrible because it makes it seem like we're all backing away from you, like we're scared and we don't want to be associated. But I think we need to cut the ammo out of their guns. And so just so you know, and I'm sure a lot of other people were definitely rooting for you, even if we had to do so in silence.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we knew that we would be watching the shows, and everybody always sending love, sending prayers. We knew it, and that's really helped, at least me.
Yes. In other words, all the thank yous to myself and Hippo Lover here, they really meant a lot, even though, even I stayed off of the chats quite a bit when things were really, getting hot.
They got ugly, is what they did.
Yeah. So, but all that, they did. The support is great from all the law tubers, and that is really appreciated. And we can't thank everyone enough. That it means a lot. But kind of glad that our popularity hopefully now should end.
Because
this is all for Maya.
Yeah.
But like I said, they just tried to do what they could to get a new trial, and it failed because it was all doodle, as I'd say. Right. And so now he hit the gavel, and now the ball's in their court. And frankly, hopefully,
maybe in mediation, the bigwigs from J Hatch will open their eyes and say, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, kind of waiting for all these people up the high echelon J Hatch. Hopefully, they're there and they kind of look at each other and say, maybe it's time to
cut
just,
losses.
you know, and repair our system, because obviously I think they're still having some issues.
Yeah, I think considering that they're coming in, I feel weird. I'm going to sneak on screen here because I know it's hard to talk to somebody who's not there.
Come on over. Let's go to camera one.
I'm literally kneeling on the floor here. But the point is that I think that they are, they're bringing in new lawyers to be able to do this appeals process. And I think that I think it would be.
Wait a second.
It's hopefully going to be helpful that they are going to bring a different perspective and be able to say, you know, I'm just not as emotionally entrenched in this situation as the lawyers were before, and maybe they can calm it down and find a solution at this point. I'm hoping.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for, right, Yoli? In other words, that, you know, someone comes in with a different set of eyes and a different thought process, and just makes everything, you know.
Yeah. Well, all they would
let
need is
cooler
an
heads
accountant.
prevail. I think would be the statement I'm hoping happens.
Yeah.
But Paul, honestly, I know you want to. If this all just all faded away, you'd be okay with that. But I really think you have a future in
calling it like it is,
in like a clothing lineup. I think I think your sense of style it is amazing. It was eye catching, and at the same time it was unique and great and wonderful. I think if you started maybe a little Instagram feed and started, you've got an opportunity there.
Influencer.
I think I'd buy a few. I could take some fashion tips. I'm needing some of those. So.
Well, I got to credit. I like to be wild or different in that sense. I mean, you know, but Yoli deserves the credit for a lot of that. She's my fashionista.
Nice. Trust me, I had to temper him down when we went shopping, and he's like, "What about this? And what about that?" I'm like, no, you cannot go in there looking like a clown."
No, I was going to wear something with sequins, or, you know, I'd probably look like, you know, a circus.
Somebody out of the 70s?
A ringmaster.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is great.
Awesome. I tell you what.
I had to temper him down a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you have something else you were going to say?
I was just saying confidence sells. When you're dealing with a bully, a lot of times the biggest thing you can do is just be confident. Just, you know, that's the first battle, and you won that battle. So good job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Paul, Yola, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You become favorites. I think your fame is not going to die off quickly. We love you. We're looking forward to hearing great things in your life, and hopefully we can stay in touch in the future. But just thank you so much. Thanks for calling in.
Absolutely, Scott. And you know, we have a home down here too on Airbnb. So you guys come down, let me know.
All right. And if you want to come to North Carolina with the bugs we have up here.
We have raid. It's fine.
Hey, they're down here too. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. And thank you, Scott, for what you do and your channel and all your viewers.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
You guys are amazing. We'll see you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Okay. I'm sneaking off.
Oh, that was awesome of them to call in. Thank you, Mrs. R.A. Are you? She's bailing. I'm going to switch mics then. I could do both of them. Is that now? It's like surround sound. That's creepy. That's weird. Now I'm short too. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I grew. Hello, son. How are you doing?
Do you know where HDMI to USB-C cord is?
You need HDMI to USB-C? I'm using 2 of them. Do you need one right now? Okay, well, I'll get you one after the live stream. He wants my cables. I taught him well. All right, thank you, everybody. That's cable number 46, 6 volt. Yes, we've got some of those. I appreciate you guys joining. This was just a quick live stream to go over the document that was filed by the judge. The judgment has been entered. The amount is there. The interest is accruing. P-Will for real. I know you sent me something. I cannot find it anywhere. I cannot find it. You sent me a program that does the interest calculations. If you can send that to me again, that would be great. I cannot find it. It's not there. I'm sorry. I'm killing you. You went to all that work, and then it either went to the junk somewhere. It's just not showing up. Anyway, let's see. Anything else we need to cover? We've talked to Jules. We've talked to Dr. Joe. We talked to Hippo Lover and Paul. All we need now is for the Anderson sisters to call in, and then we'll be set. But you guys are amazing, all of you. It's thank you very much for and saying this as a community as a whole. Thanks for taking an interest in this case. Thanks for making this a topic of conversation in your families and in your neighborhoods and with your friends. I think a lot of the impact of this trial and is going to be felt because of that conversation. And for somebody, for making this important, making this something that you wanted to invest time and interest in and talent on, honestly. So I appreciate all you guys doing that. All right, paging Mr. Anderson. No, he's fine. We'll catch up with him another time. He's a busy man. Let's see. We have it's the weekend. The weekend was going to start, and then this document dropped. So that was amazing. Thank you for. I'll also say this on behalf of Hippo Lover and juror number 1. Thank you for all the people who are sending them thanks. We heard from them that when things got rough, when it did look a little scary, that those messages of encouragement were kept them afloat and kept them alive, mentally speaking. So, all right, I think that's it. I'm just trying to see if I missed any comments that I need to. There are so many comments. Oh my goodness. I think I missed some super chats. I apologize. Somebody had sent a super chat about the Kowalskis. I will say that this channel, I've learned very quickly, it's very difficult to do fundraisers for other people. It's difficult for tax reasons. It's difficult for legal reasons. I am not the individual who's going to be able to figure out how to do that. So if you're interested in donating to someone's cause, sending it to me creates a huge problem. So don't do that. I don't know if the Kowalskis have any sort of fundraiser or need a fundraiser right now. I have no idea where they're at on that. So I would defer that to someone who's closer to the situation and talk to them directly. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of anything that way. So let's see. Amy, thank you for the super chat as well. I saw that one. I apologize if I missed other super chats as this came through and super stickers. I appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. All right. I think we're done. Now the weekend can start, right? Now it can start. We hopefully no more police chases. We're done. I was supposed to go out to dinner tonight, and it's let's see, where's he at? Let's see. 7 o'clock? Yeah, so we've got 4 minutes. All right, that works since he's ready in 4 minutes. I've got to wrap up here because I've got to go out to dinner with a friend, and hopefully all you guys have a fabulous weekend. Please stay warm. Please stay safe this weekend. Oh my goodness, the weather is absolutely nuts. Winter is in full throttle pretty much all around the United States. So please be careful whatever you're doing. If you're out and about or driving, please be cautious, take precautions, don't do anything reckless. We want to find everybody healthy and happy and back with us on Monday morning when we continue watching the Treehouse trial out of Florida. It's a Key West trial, the Key Lime Courthouse, as we call it. It's going to be good. It's got our minds spinning. It's got me spinning. I'm going to be thinking about it all weekend long. I might come to a different conclusion, but we'll see where that goes. Thank you. For those who are not able to be here, I guess we're not coming back. So tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we go live again. It's going to be Monday morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Dom Garvey says, Juror number 1 clothing line. I like it. I think you've inspired, I know at least the robot shirt line is a good one, but maybe we'll have to do a Juror number 1 merchandise item. Do we need to send funds for the missus to get a chair, says Melissa. She sat in my old chair normally, but it's not in this room. She just came in, it's in the other room. So we've got one we can use. You guys are amazing. Have a great weekend. Be nice to each other. We'll see you. Bye-bye.